Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome to your channel The Anatomy Canvas. In today's class I am going to discuss with you the model of the skull. So this is the model of the skull of the human body. This one is original and this one is the model of the skull. So this model of skull is studied in different way. So first we will study the anterior view, which is also called the norma frontalis. Then is the superior view, which is also called the norma verticalis. Then the posterior view of the skull, which is called the norma occipitalis. The lateral view of the skull, which is called the norma lateralis, and then the inferior view of the skull, which is called the norma basalis. So this one is the model taken from the human body. This is original one, and first we will study in the norma for frontalis. So in norma frontalis, this one is also the model of the skull, and in this you can see the norma frontalis. So in both of these we will study one by one. So in both of these you can see that this norma frontalis is formed by the frontal bone in front, then the maxillary bone, the nasal bone, the zygomatic bone, and the part of the parietal bone. So four different bones which are forming this norma frontalis is the frontal bone, the nasal bone, the maxillary bone, the zygomatic bone, and on side you can see the parietal bone. So next we will study the different sutures which are present in this model. So here you can see first of all this suture. This is the coronal suture. This suture is present between the frontal bone and the parietal bone. Then in newborn baby another suture is present which is called metopic suture between the two frontal bone, and this metopic suture ossifies except in 8% of the population where it remains. And here in this model, in this skeleton of the skull of the human body, you can see the persistence of this metopic suture over here. Then the other sutures which are present in this are, this one is the zygomatico-frontal suture. Here you can see the zygomatico-maxillary suture. Here you can see the frontonasal suture which is present over here, and these are the different sutures. Then the different bony prominences which are present in this model, you can see this prominence is called the frontal prominence of the frontal bone, and then the two prominences which are present over here, these are called the superciliary arches. In between the superciliary arches you can see a prominence which is called the glabella. So on the sides you can see this bone is the maxillary bone, and here this one is the nasal bone. Here you can see the suture which is present over here. This is between the nasal bone and the frontal process of the maxilla. Then you can see over here this one is the zygomatic bone, and the suture which is present between the zygomatic bone and the maxillary bone. So this process is called the maxillary process of zygomatic bone, and this process is called the zygomatic process of the maxillary bone, and the suture present between these two is called the zygomatico-maxillary suture. Similarly, this process of the zygomatic bone is called the frontal process of zygomatic bone, and this process of frontal bone is called frontal zygomatic process of the frontal bone, and the suture present between these two is called the zygomatico-frontal suture. Then this part of the original skull is being broken, so we will see it in this model over here. So here you can see this one is the nasal bone which is present, and the suture present between the nasal bone and the frontal is the frontonasal bone and frontonasal suture, and here a depression is present which is called the nasion. In the center you can see this one is the palatine, this one is the nasal septum which is present. Here you can see the middle nasal concha and the inferior nasal concha. So these are the different prominences which are present in this model. Now we will see the different foramina which are present in this frontal view of the skull, that is called the norma frontalis. So first of all you can see over here this one, the first foramen which is present near the superciliary arch, this is the supraorbital foramen. Then another foramen which is present just beneath the inferior orbital margin, this is called the infraorbital foramen. And the third foramen which is present in the zygomatic bone is called the zygomatic foramina. Now I will show you the different foramina which are present in the model of the in the skull of the human body. So this one is the present just above the superciliary, at the level of the superciliary or just above the supraorbital margin. This is called the supraorbital foramen. Then the second foramen which is present just beneath the inferior orbital margin, this one is called the infraorbital foramen. And the third foramen which is present over here in this location, the zygomatic bone, you can see it over here. So this foramen is called the zygomaticofacial foramen. Now I will move on to the superior view, the norma verticalis of the skull bone. So in the norma verticalis of the skull bone, first we will see the different bones which will be forming the norma verticalis. So 4 bones are forming the norma verticalis. This bone is the frontal bone. These are the 2 parietal bones and then the occipital bone. Then the different sutures which are present over here are the first of all, this is the coronal suture which is present between the frontal bone and the parietal bone. Then you can see the sagittal suture which is present between the 2 parietal bone, and then you can see over here in this location the lambdoid suture which is present between the parietal bone and the occipital bone. So at this point where the 2 coronal suture and sagittal suture meet over here, this point is called the brecma. And at this point, this is the location of the anterior fontanelle in the newborn baby, and it ossifies later on and it forms the brecma. Then the second point where the sagittal suture meet the lambdoid suture, over here this point is called the lambda, and this is the point where the posterior fontanelle is present in the newborn baby, and it also ossifies at the age of the 6th month. Then you can see over here the occipital prominence which is present over here, and then the occipital crest which is present over here, and these are the superior and the inferior occipital lines which are present over here. So these are the different sutures and bones which are forming the norma in the human body. So now I will show you the norma occipitalis, that is the posterior view of the skull. So in this posterior view of the skull, you can see this is the bones which are forming the posterior part. The norma occipitalis are the part of the 2 parietal bones, the occipital bone, the mastoid process of the occipital bone, which are forming the norma occipitalis. So different sutures which you can see over here. This is the part of the sagittal suture, then the lambdoid suture which is present over here. This is the lambda which is present over here, and in this location you can see where the parietal bone, the occipital bone, and this mastoid process meet and their suture is forming. This is called the asterion. The 3 bones meet over here, and this area is called the asterion. Then the different bony prominences which you can see over here. This is the external occipital protuberance, and the prominent point of external occipital protuberance is called the inion. Then is the external occipital crest which is present over here. These are the nuchal lines which are present. The nuchal line which is present in relation to external occipital protuberance is the superior nuchal line and then the inferior nuchal line. Some books also mention the highest nuchal lines over here. So this superior nuchal line comes and it is present near the area of the in the area of the lambdoid suture, where it meet the bones, 2 different bones meet with each other. Now I move on to the norma basalis, that is the inferior view of the skull. So the inferior view of the skull is studied in the 3 different parts. You can study the one which is formed by the hard palate, the first part. The second part is between the hard palate and the anterior margin of the foramen magnum. This is the second part, the middle part, and third part which is behind the anterior margin of the foramen magnum to the end. So these 3 parts we can study the norma basalis in 3 parts. So in the hard palate you can see this is the area of the hard palate, and the bone which are forming the hard palate are, these are the horizontal plate of the maxillary bone and the palatine bone. So anterior 2/3 is formed by the horizontal plate of the maxilla, and the posterior 1/3 is formed by the palatine bone. Then you can see different sutures which are present in this is the median suture which is present, and this suture is the maxillopalatine suture or the transverse suture which is present in this location. Now the different foramina which are present in this anterior part of the skull, basically the three main foramina which are present in the midline. You can see this is the incisive foramen which is present over here. Then on the sides you can see over here, so I will show you with the pen. This is the greater palatine foramen. This is one on each side. Then 2 to 3 or sometimes 4 smaller foramina which are also present over here, and these foramina are called the lesser palatine foramina. So the incisive foramen which is present, the greater palatine foramen which is present on this location, you can see it over here, and then the lesser palatine foramina which are present over here. This point is called the nasal crest. This is the anterior midline or median palatine suture. The transverse palatine suture are the maxillopalatine suture, and this is all about the first the anterior part of the base of the skull. Then the middle part of the base of the skull, which is formed by the different bones. So in the midline you can see over here that this is the vomer bone which is present over here. Then this area is the part of the sphenoid bone which is forming the part of the lateral plate, and here is the suture which is present between the basilar part of the occipital bone, and then in the depth where the sphenoid bone is present. So this is the sphenobasilar suture which is present, and here you can see the pharyngeal tubercle. So these are the different midline structure: the nasal crest, the vomer, the sphenobasilar suture, and the pharyngeal tubercle which is present over here. Then laterally you can see the two pterygoid plates which are present over here. So these pterygoid plates are the medial and the lateral pterygoid plates. This one is the medial pterygoid plate and this one is the lateral pterygoid plate. This prominence over here related to the medial pterygoid plates, you can see over here this one. This is called the pterygoid humulus. Then this area is the pterygoid fossa and this area is the scaphoid fossa. This one is the greater wing of the sphenoid bone over here, and the foramen which you can see over here is the foramen ovale which is present over here. This one is the foramen ovale and this one is the foramen spinosum which is present. This area is the area or the depression for the auditory tube. You can see over here this is the depression for the auditory tube which is present. This one is the foramen lacerum which is present. This foramen is the carotid canal which is present over here. Here you can see the another foramen in which the pencil is going inside. This is the jugular foramen which is present. So through which the internal jugular vein passes. Then you can see the two prominent bony features. This one is the mastoid process and this one is the styloid process. And in between these two processes over here you can see the foramen which is present. This is the stylomastoid foramen through which the facial nerve passes. Here on this area you can see the external auditory meatus which is present over here. This is the auditory tubercle and this is the fossa where the mandible mica joint, the temporomandibular joint is present. This area is called the suprameatal triangle. This area is the suprameatal triangle over here, and this suprameatal triangle is an area where it is surgically important because it forming the wall of the mastoid antrum. So now we I quickly repeat the different features of the middle part of the skull, the norma basalis. So this is the vomer, the anterior nasal crest, the vomer, then this sphenobasilar suture, the basilar part of the occipital bone, the pharyngeal tubercle, the medial pterygoid plate, the lateral pterygoid plate, the pterygoid humulus which is present, pterygoid fossa which is present, scaphoid fossa which is present, impression for the auditory tube, the foramen ovale and the foramen spinosum which is present, foramen lacerum which is present, carotid canal, the jugular foramen, styloid process and the mastoid process. And posteriorly you can see this area. Here you can see the two condyles are present, and the foramen which is present anterior to the condyle. Over here you can see where I pass my pencil inside in this location. So you can see this is the anterior condylar foramen, also called the hypoglossal foramen, and this one is the posterior condylar foramen which is present over here. This whole area is the occipital bone, where you can see the occipital crest over here, the external occipital protuberance, the highest nuchal and the superior nuchal line and the inferior nuchal lines which are present over here. Here you can see the mastoid process which is present. This is the this impression is formed by the occipital artery which is present over here, and this one is the mastoid foramen which is present in this location. Now this is all about the norma bisalis. Now I move on to the norma lateralis. So in the norma lateralis, the different bones which are forming the norma lateralis, these are part of the frontal bone, part of the parietal bone, the squamous part and the greater wing of the sphenoid bone, then the maxillary bone and the maxillary process forming the maxillary arch, the mastoid process, and then the styloid process. So the different sutures which are present, this is the part of the coronal suture which is present over here. This suture is called the squamosal suture which is present in this area. Over here this is the greater wing of the sphenoid bone, and here you can see the supratemporal and infratemporal fossae which are present. This area is also important. Here the four bones are meeting: the greater wing of the sphenoid bone, the squamous part of the squamous part of the temporal bone. This is the parietal bone and the frontal bone. So this H-shaped area is called the pterion. This pterion is the location of the anterolateral suture in the newborn baby, and posteriorly over here you can see the location where the three bones meet: the occipital bone, the parietal bone, and the temporal bone. So this area is called the pterion, and this is there the three bones are meeting in this area, and this area is the location for the posterolateral fontanelle in the newborn baby, which all these two ossifies at the age of the 3 months. So here you can see this one is the external acoustic meatus. Over here the zygomatic arch which is formed partly by the part of the temporal bone and partly by the zygomatic process of the zygomatic bone. Then you can see this is the auditory tubercle, and this is the fossa for the temporomandibular joint. This area is the suprameatal recess just above the acoustic meatus. This is the styloid process which is present, and this one is the this one is the mastoid process which is present, and this one is the styloid process which is present over here. So this is you can see over here, this is the lateral pterygoid plate which can be seen on the normal lateralis as well. So this is all about this skull.